Happy New Year, everybody! I'm Tyler, and in my first video for 2018, I'm here to tell you why Proud Mary is no perfect movie. So Proud Mary is about a mob hip woman played by Taraji P. Henson, who takes in a young orphan boy named Billy after she kills his father. Yeah. And when she tries to help him get out of life on the streets, she unintentionally starts a war between her crime family and another, and she decides that the two of them have had enough of this business and try to get out while they still can. Taraji P. Henson, as usual, gives a lot to her performance. You definitely believe that she's physically capable of being a contract killer, but despite her job, she actually has a vulnerable side to her that you can relate to. You get the sense that she didn't actually want to be part of the business and was forced into it by her boss, played by Danny Glover, who was the main adult figure in her life. And it also explains why it matters to her so much that she be the adult figure to Billy. And speaking of, the main actor who plays Billy, I'm not going to say his name because I'd probably get it wrong. He was a lot of fun to watch, because usually kids in crime movies are pretty useless and just tend to be smartasses. But this main kid, whose last name is Winston, I believe, he has pretty good comedic timing and delivery that makes him an enjoyable smartass. He kind of reminded me of Riley Freeman from the Boondocks, except he doesn't use certain words. Let's just put it that way. He also has some fun chemistry with Taraji P. Henson. They have some good back and forth banter. She actually treats him like a mother. Like, if he swears in front of her, she actually says, "Hey, watch your language." And it's little things like that that made me believe the mother-son-like bond between the two of them. And when she gives him instructions on what to do in a given situation, he actually does it unless there's a better solution. And if it doesn't work, well, for once it's actually her fault instead of his. Now, as far as direction goes, here are the positives. When the movie wants to be stylish, it adds a lot of energy to the movie. The opening credits have this really cool blaxploitation look with the use of neon colors and split screens to show what Mary's life is like as an assassin, and it was just the perfect way to start off a movie just like that. And when there's a shootout, it's pretty fun to watch. Henson and the other actors are doing their own gunplay. The stunts and the destruction that's going on is all practical. And nobody's invincible, not even Mary. She gets shot multiple times and has to spend certain scenes in the movie applying first aid to herself and recovering. And it added to the more vulnerable side of her personality that we had already seen. Now notice I said shootout as opposed to action scene. That's mainly because this isn't an action movie. It's a fast-paced crime thriller. And if you're like me and you were expecting Mary to get a little bit more physical, throw some awesome punches or kicks, you'll be disappointed, because she only throws like one or two and that's it. And that part was pretty underwhelming, because her just sneaking up behind someone and shooting them in the back of the head, it's not very exciting, and there aren't a lot of emotional stakes to it either. I mean, imagine if Mary had to fight hand-to-hand at the very end of the movie with someone who was a lot taller and stronger, and she had to get back up on her feet over and over again in order to defeat them. If it was done like that, you would feel a lot more for her when she's trying to protect Billy and escape from a life of crime. But a fight scene like that never happens in the movie, and that felt like a huge missed opportunity. But my biggest problem with Proud Mary is how rushed the story and editing are. And this is a story that we've seen a million times before, I'm aware of that. But you can still make it a good movie thanks to a cool criminal underworld and well fleshed out characters. Mary and Billy are developed enough for us to care about them, but the movie doesn't take enough time to explain how these different crime families operate or what kind of businesses they even run. I'm not entirely sure what these guys do for a living. And you don't learn anything about Danny Glover or his son, who are part of the business, unless they're explaining through these expository monologues to Mary about why she can't leave the business. It's hard to be afraid of villains that we know nothing about. We know that they kill people, but we don't know why they kill people, so there's nothing to get invested in. And the editing in this movie is typical Screen Gems crappy editing for sure. The average shot length only lasts for about a few seconds, and immediately, as soon as a character is finished talking in a scene, it immediately cuts to a reaction of a different character, and then half a second later, it cuts it back to someone else who's starting a different conversation, and it repeats this cycle over and over again. It stung the crap out of my eyes, and it doesn't give you enough time to register what characters are feeling in a certain situation because the shot doesn't hold on them long enough for us to care. There are establishing shots that last for half a second and then just fade to black for no reason. They even reuse certain shots like 2 or 3 times without even trying to hide it, and it was just so obvious. Proud Mary as a movie is okay. The actors are good, some of the shootouts are fun and exciting, and that Tina Turner song is going to be stuck in your head for a while. But the movie rushes too many important story details to make it a memorable movie. And for that reason, I'm going to give Proud Mary a 3 out of 5. Guys, thanks as always for watching, and if you've seen Proud Mary, what did you think about it? Be sure to let me know in the comments below. Be sure to like, subscribe, check out my other reviews at noperfectmovie.com. And once again, thank you all very much for watching. Take care.